Welcome to the Nordic Venture Show, your speed date with the coolest ventures, brightest founders, and exciting things happening in the Nordics. In this episode, our venture date is with Lightbringer, patent protection for innovators.
Okay, so you're someone who wants to get informed, right? And get informed efficiently, especially when it's about protecting your great ideas.
Right.
Let's face it, the whole world of patents, you can feel like a really dense forest, even for the most innovative people out there.
Oh, absolutely. It's true. I mean, when you're pouring everything into creating something new, dealing with the legal side, the IP stuff,
Yeah.
it can just feel like a huge, frustrating detour.
Exactly. And that brings us right to our focus for this deep dive. Lightbringer. You, our listeners, actually flagged this company, shared their About Us page, a general company description, some blog posts, customer stories, quite a bit of material.
Yeah, a good set of resources.
So our mission today, really get under the hood, understand what Lightbringer is all about, how they're trying to maybe reshape the patent world, and importantly, why this might actually matter to you if you have innovative ideas brewing.
Sounds good.
Okay, let's jump in then. Who is Lightbringer exactly?
Well, fundamentally, Lightbringer, their main aim is to simplify the patent process, make it easier, and empower innovators, give them more control over their own IP journey.
Okay, simplifying and empowering.
Yeah, and what's really interesting, I think, is how they're doing it. It's not just like a traditional law firm service. They're specifically harnessing generative AI models.
The AI aspect.
Exactly, combined with deep expertise, actual human expertise in IP law and engineering. They're using that mix to try and streamline the whole thing, really, from the moment you have an idea right through to getting that patent granted.
So it's this blend. Cutting-edge tech meets established legal know-how, all just to make things smoother.
That's the idea.
And the origin story came from Dominic Davies, is that right? Tell us a bit about him.
Yeah, Dominic Davies. He's the founder and he's a patent attorney, but crucially, he also has a software engineering background.
Oh, interesting combination.
It really is, because he'd experienced it firsthand. He understood the bottlenecks in the usual patent process. He'd founded an IP law firm before, Invent Horizon IP.
Right.
And he saw just how much time got eaten up by admin tasks. So we thought, okay, how can we automate this stuff, free up time for the more strategic thinking, actually talking to clients?
That makes a ton of sense, because it often feels like there is just this mountain of paperwork, doesn't it? Hurdles to jump over.
It really can, yeah.
But it's not just Dominic leading the charge, is it? The info you shared, it points to a pretty experienced team overall.
Oh, absolutely. They've pulled together a team with a really diverse and very relevant mix of skills. You've got people strong in tech, people who really understand innovation cycles, seasoned IP pros, of course, and even entrepreneurs.
So kind of covering all the bases.
It looks that way, yeah. Like they consciously built a group that gets all the different pieces, from having the idea to developing it to protecting it.
Okay, let's put maybe a few faces to that experience, just briefly. We mentioned Dominic Davies, CEO, patent attorney, co-founded Invent Horizon IP, involved the startups like Alex Labs, Chassis Autonomy. Sounds like he really gets the startup world.
Definitely seems embedded in it. And then there's Marcus Andreessen. He's the CTO and a co-founder, a real product builder, apparently, with over 50 patents just from his time at Sony.
Wow, 50 patents.
Yeah.
That's significant. That shows he knows how to turn ideas into actual protected inventions.
For sure. And his background developing AI-powered SaaS products at places like Voyato and Flatfrog, that seems pretty central to Lightbringer's tech focus.
Right.
Then you've got Ola Wasvik. He heads up their go-to-market strategy, another co-founder, CTO background, this time at Flatfrog.
Yep.
And there he apparently managed patent portfolios with hundreds of patents. So he really understands the strategic IP challenges for entrepreneurs.
Okay, so deep tech and IP strategy experience there. And it's not all tech and legal, you said. Pam Steniford, the CFO.
Correct. She brings the financial expertise, background in UK government finance, but also venture capital, specifically in deep tech. That kind of experience is vital, for handling funding, growth, all of those complexities.
Makes sense. You need that financial grounding.
Yeah.
And Andrew Steniford, founding member, another patent attorney.
Yes, specializing in European and UK patents, trademarks, designs, partner at Invent Horizon IP too, but also former head of IP at huge companies like Maersk Line, AP Møller-Mærsk, and IP counsel at Stanley Black & Decker. That's some serious high-level corporate IP experience.
That's a heavy hitter. Wow.
It really is. And shouldn't forget Thomas Christensen. He brings deep technical understanding of the patent process itself, holds over 50 U.S. patents himself from work at Flatfrog and Gas Optics, things like algorithm development, signal processing.
Okay.
So you look at that whole team, the mix of legal, technical, business, startup, corporate, it's quite striking. And Lightbringers themselves state their goal pretty clearly, to reinvent patent protection for the AI era.
Right. Reinvent patent protection for the AI era.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a good sense of who they are, this experienced team. But how? How exactly are they doing this reinvention? What's their unique approach? What makes them different?
Okay, yeah, this is where it gets quite interesting, looking at their value proposition. They really emphasize a few key things. First, lower cost. They use a fixed price model, not the traditional hourly billing.
Predictability.
Exactly. Predictable costs for building your portfolio. They even have a cost calculator on their site, apparently, for transparency. Second, they talk about faster filing.
Faster. How?
Through their streamlined online process, they say. Less need for loads of meetings, a quicker workflow overall. And third, they really stress that the inventor stays in control.
In control, meaning?
Meaning you, the innovator, you're in the driver's seat from submitting the idea right through to the patent being granted. But you still have their in-house specialists and patent attorneys managing it and providing the expertise.
Okay, so trying to remove that feeling of, I don't know, uncertainty. Or maybe lack of control that sometimes comes with these legal things.
Precisely. Aiming for transparency and empowering the user. And their platform seems absolutely central to this.
So the platform, right? What does that do?
Well, it lets inventors talk directly with the attorneys and product specialists. It supports team collaboration so multiple people can work on things. It gives a structured workflow for drafting and managing applications. And there's a central dashboard, so you can see the status of everything, what actions are needed next.
That sounds like it could really demystify the whole process quite a bit. And the notes you shared mentioned something about automated analysis of office actions. What's that?
Yes, office actions. Those are the official letters you get back from the patent office during examination, often saying why they might reject the application or parts of it.
Okay. The hurdles.
Kind of, yeah. So Lightbringer uses AI algorithms to do an initial automated analysis of these communications. The idea is to make it quicker and easier to figure out how to respond, making collaboration on those responses more efficient.
Okay, that could be a big help.
And on top of that, they have a feature called Lightbringer Insights. This apparently lets users analyze their own patent portfolio and even compare it against competitors' patents.
Competitive intelligence built in. It really does sound like it's all geared towards making patents more, well, accessible and manageable, doesn't it? Their whole philosophy is simple, empowering, accessible. That seems to fit.
Exactly right. They're trying to lower those traditional barriers, make patent protection feel less daunting, whether you're a startup or a bigger company.
Okay, this all sounds very promising in theory. But what about the real world? Actual results. The resources had testimonials, quotes from users. What did they say? Anything stand out?
Yeah, the user quotes were pretty compelling, actually. Annika Lundstrom from a company called Reminded called their AI implementation one of the most impressive and game-changing she'd seen.
High praise.
Very. And Jonas Sundquist from Alex Labs, he went even further, saying it was more mind-blowing than ChatGPT.
Wow. Okay. That's quite a statement, given ChatGPT's impact.
It really is. Then James Campion at Terrassi, he talked about the efficiency gain, a week or so of work done in an hour. That highlights serious time savings.
A week's work in an hour. Okay.
And Thomas Lee from Chassis Autonomy, he focused on how it let them concentrate on innovation, saying the patent drafting almost takes care of itself.
Those are some powerful endorsements. It suggests it's actually delivering on those promises of speed and ease.
It seems that way from these comments, yes.
The resources also mention specific customer stories. Can you maybe just give us a quick flavor of a couple of those?
Sure. There was ATO Energy. They developed a software platform for something called dynamic rating in the energy grid market. They started using Lightbringer just recently, April 2024. Shows it's not just brand new tech startups, maybe.
Right, more established industries, too.
Then there's Terrassi, the same company as they, quote, they worked with Lightbringer on patent planning for their future wireless tech. so using it strategically for future road mapping.
Okay.
TrackPaw was another one. They use Lightbringer for strategic patent coverage and, importantly, resource allocation for their lab animal management systems. That highlights the value for startups needing to be really careful with resources.
Maximizing impact with limited budget, maybe.
Seems like it. And one more, DriveX Technologies, an Estonian company. They use the AI service for their AI vehicle inspection solution, so that shows the international appeal as well.
Okay, so it definitely sounds like they're working across a pretty diverse range, different company stages, different tech sectors, even different countries.
That's the impression, yes.
Now, let's zoom out a bit, the bigger picture. What else should we take away from these sources about Lightbringer's position and direction?
Well, a key thing is funding. They recently secured a pretty substantial funding round, $4.2 million. It was led by Luminar Ventures and Alliance VC.
$4.2 million, that's significant.
It is. It signals strong investor confidence, obviously, but it also points to their plans for international expansion. They're starting with Cambridge in the UK, which makes sense. It's a major innovation hub. Suggests they have real growth ambitions.
Right, fueling that expansion. And it's not just growth, is it? I think I saw a mention of data security being important to them.
Yes, absolutely critical, especially when you're handling sensitive IP. They make a point of outlining their security protocols, data management, even mentioning third-party audits for compliance. You have to have that trust.
Essential.
Definitely. And beyond the core service, their commitment to sort of educating the wider innovation community seems clear, too, through their resources, blog posts, webinars, those customer stories we mentioned.
Yeah, I saw those webinar topics. Things like hardware companies protecting software, which is a tricky area.
Yeah.
And a Q&A for entrepreneurs specifically on patents with Ola Wasvik.
Right, and blog posts covering practical topics like common mistakes in patent applications or the value of having patent pending status.
So they're trying to provide value beyond just selling their platform, like building a community or knowledge base.
It seems that way. It demonstrates they understand the broader challenges innovators face, and they want to empower them with knowledge, not just a tool. It all feeds back into that overarching goal. Make patent protection more accessible, more efficient, less of a financial burden, which, could really change things for the whole innovation ecosystem.
Okay, so bringing this deep dive toward a close, if you had to boil it down, what are the absolute key takeaways for our listeners about Lightbringer?
I'd say the core things are: 1, they're seriously leveraging AI alongside human expertise to try and simplify and streamline a traditionally complex process patents. 2, their model focuses on fixed pricing for predictability, aiming to lower costs. 3, the platform is built for speed, transparency, and keeping the innovator in control. And 4, perhaps most crucially, the feedback suggests it's working for users. They're reporting real benefits, saving time, and feeling able to focus more on their actual inventions.
Right. It really does circle back to that mission, doesn't it? Empowering innovators, letting them focus on, innovating, creating.
Exactly.
So maybe a final thought for you, our listener, to chew on. How could a more streamlined, more accessible patent process like the one Lightbringer is aiming for, how could that change the way you protect and maybe even leverage your own innovative ideas? What new possibilities might that open up for you, for your work? It's definitely, it's a compelling question to think about. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Thanks for tuning in. You can follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Music, or your favorite app, and connect with us on LinkedIn for more stories and insights.